Hi everyone, I'm so glad to be here and I'm gonna tell you today about key soft skills for career in tech. As Evgeny said, my name is Zakkery and now I'm the CEO of School of Personal Growth, and maybe my microphone sometimes doesn't work. Okay, and maybe I know a lot about soft skills because for the last 16 months we have trained more than 3,000 students on paid programs. I am the author of 5 exclusive trainings on soft skills. My core disciplines are time management. I'm a trainer for corporate time management for businesses and time management for individuals, and so on. Goal achievements, selection of business niche, and emotional quotient. About emotional quotient, we're going to talk to you today, and I'm going to explain you why this criteria is really critical for your employer when he recruits new staff, when he's going to recruit you for the job. Also, I'm a speaker in the United States and in Russia, and the author of popular Russian book. Maybe that's why company Test Pro invited me today to tell you about the soft skills. Let's start with the question why your soft skills are so important for employer. Preparing for this performance, I studied several surveys and several researchers that human resources organizations took. They surveyed about 500 employers and asked them the questions: what is more important for you? Hard skills, that's about mathematics, about like technician knowledge, your experience in the sphere of tech, or certificates that you have, or they are more interested and care about your soft skills. Soft skills, that is something that characterize you as a successful person. It is about how you can communicate in a team. Are you a team player or you're an independent person? How you can negotiate with people. Are you able to persuade the customer or not? Are you know how to be motivated and driven to the achievements? That's about soft skills. And according to these researchers, modern employers are more interested in your soft skills. Hard skills are really important. We cannot taking it off the consideration, but still, soft skills are on the top because your soft skills help to create healthy working environment in the company. It makes teams work better and achieve common results and common goals. Because if you are able to communicate well within the team, that means that you're going to achieve the goal faster, and your employer are very interested in it. That's why it's so crucial for you to develop your soft skills as soon as possible. And moreover, every employer are interested in a team player, not in an independent person. And to be a team player, you need to know how to communicate effectively with the customers, how to do a problem solving. Oh, maybe I will just speak without a microphone.
You don't have?
I think that I can. Oh, it's maybe just to.
Let's try it.
Okay. And also, your soft skills help facilitate human connections and so on. That's why it's so important. Okay, but what soft skills are in demand? What exactly do I need to upgrade, and what exact skills do I need to develop in myself? While I will name them, please listen to it carefully and try to pay attention. What are you lack of these? Which of these skills you really lack of? What you think you are not good enough in which of these skills? I rank them according to the research. This is the link to this research, and if you are really interested, you can check it. This is about what skills are in demand nowadays between the employers. And the first one is time management. how you can manage your time properly to work within the deadlines that your employer set to you, how you can plan your work time, whether you are finishing at 6 p.m. or you have to stay after 8 p.m. and so on. Teamwork, this is very important. Communication, to be self-motivated, this is one of the top soft skills, and I guarantee you when you come to the interview, the employer will ask you a couple questions to find out something about your self-motivation, how you are driven to the achievements. Because if you are not self-motivated, unfortunately, you are not a good candidate. Because you are not able to fulfill the goals of the company. Every employer is interested in the person who are initiative, who are able to do the work himself, not just under the control of his boss. The next skill is discipline, adaptability. I would add here integrity. So integrity, the ability to work for common goals, the ability to be like a part of the team, part of the company. Problem solving, critical observation, conflict resolution, and the leadership. And now I have a question to you. How do you think, which one of these skills do you lack of? Can I ask you, how do you think? What are the skills and now you are not good at?
I'm good at everything.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I was maybe conflict resolution.
You think that you are not good at conflict resolutions?
I don't know. I don't think I'm not good, but sometimes I can, struggle with it. Sometimes.
And this is one of the key skills that you're going to meet in every job description for the QA engineer. Preparing for this performance, I researched the job descriptions in Indeed.com and tried to find out what skills the employers are looking for. And conflict resolution is one of the important ones, so you need to take care of it. What about you? What skills, how do you think you lack of?
Time management.
Time management? I'm a trainer on time management. I can give you a couple of advice. And we will come to it today. Deadlines bring out the worst in you. You plan your time properly to get work done in advance. That means that you know in advance that the timelines stress you. That's why you prepare in advance. That's about a person who knows him very well. But then the problem that not everyone knows our goals and values and weaknesses. I would like to ask you a question. Who knows his weaknesses and values? Let me ask on the second row, that nice lady with the sunglasses. Do you know your weaknesses?
No.
No? Okay. Do you know your values? What is really important for you in the future job?
Self-fulfillment.
Self what?
Self-fulfillment.
Self-fulfillment. Okay, anything else?
That's very important.
Before you're gonna recruit for the new job, you need to know your values. Because not only the company chooses you, but you choose the company. And it will be very sad to find out in a year after you work there, after you spend so much strength to get that position at work, to find out that you don't like the corporate culture of the company, or that your values doesn't suit to the values of the company. That's why before you try to look for the job, you need to find out what is really important for you in a job. What about the goals? May I ask you a question? Where are you going to be in 5 years? Who are you going to be in 5 years? Do you know? This is one of the most famous questions in the interview. And if you are sitting like, I don't know, I didn't expect that question, the employer will be a little bit dissatisfied because, why? He doesn't know where he's going to be.
Hopefully more technical.
That's a bad answer. More technical. What exact? So, what I wanted to show you, that you need to know yourself much better to be more on a high level of emotional quotient. The next one is self-regulation. That means how you can regulate your desires and feelings. Let's say not to eat after 6 p.m. Are you able? Who are able not to eat after 6 p.m.? I'm not able to eat. I mean, sometimes when you want, let's say, if you decide to go for a sport and you decide that I will go there like twice a week, but how long does it usually take you to go there, to stay there for twice a week? Usually for me it's 1 month, not more. After 1 month, I said, no, I'm too tired today. I'm gonna stay at home and so on. That means that I'm not too enough self-regulated. The person with a high emotional quotient really strong at self-discipline. Let's say when you are able to overcome difficulties at work with still mind and minimum losses. The motivation, that means to be driven to achieve. That's easy and understandable. For example, at your work, instead of blaming external circumstances, you learn from the experience and implement corrections quickly. And the last two, but very important things, empathy and social skills. Empathy, that's the ability to consider other people's feelings, especially when making decisions. And it's a very important skill for leader. If the leader doesn't know how to recognize the feelings of his workers, unfortunately, he's a bad leader. And he's not going to grow too much in his career. And the last one is the social skills, managing relationships to move people in desired direction. That's interesting thing, and that's very important in teamwork when you work directly with the end users or the customers. Let's say when you reach win-win situations in difficult negotiations, that's like a top of social skills. Who can say that he's really good at social skills? Just 2 persons?
I am.
Okay, good. But you need to develop this skill. Why EQ is so popular now? Because with the help of EQ, we have more effective leaders, they are good at decision maker, they achieve greater success, they more happier than the regular person, and also relationship satisfaction, not only in life but at work as well. Emotions, this is equals information. Information equals data about the person, so we really need to understand emotions. How do we do that? I suggest you to pass these 2 tests. Please take out your cell phones and find these 2 tests. The first test is about emotional quotient. You just open your camera and direct it to the QR code, and your phone will redirect you to the web page. On these 2 web pages, you will find a disc test. Disc test, this is about your skills. It will give you complete information. What skills are you lacking now and what you need to upgrade. I recommend you to do that before you go to the interview. And the first one, this is about emotional quotient. This is a very famous test that will help to assess your level of emotional quotient. And how to boost EQ if it's so important? Okay, what should I do for it? I suggest you to set on a 14 or 21 day mental diet. What is a mental diet? Mental diet is when you monitor your feelings during the day, monitor your emotions during the day. I suggest you to take a picture of this slide because that's going to be your home task. How are we going to do that? Let's create a note in your phone where you're gonna, for the next 14 or 21 days, if you really would like to get the really good job, if you want to get the job that you wish, you better boost your EQ right now and start it the day after today. During the next 14 or 21 days, we're gonna monitor the feelings, monitor the emotions, and not to forget about it. I suggest you to set the reminders in your phone that's gonna remind you about that you need to monitor it, because during the workday we can just forget about it. To set the reminders with the question, how do you feel yourself? Do you remember that you need to monitor your feelings and so on? That will help you to understand what exact situations at work, at life, during the day make you feel frustrated, make you feel sad, or make you feel excited. After that, you will easier understand the other people's emotion. That means that it will provide you an advantage in front of other candidates when you're going to apply for the job. I think that 14 or 21 days will be enough for this mental diet to understand yourself better. And in the notes, you just review them during the day or at night and so on, just to make like overview of it, how you usually feel. The next, what's gonna help you to boost EQ is to train self-discipline. I prepared a separate slide for that. Golden rules for self-discipline, you can take a picture of it, I think it's quite important. The main rule is to add as much clarity to your plan as possible. Why so many people can't make themselves to lose the weight or to go to the sport, to do it regularly? Because they just decided, I'm gonna go to the sport on Tuesday, that's it. But they don't know, they didn't add clarity to this plan. Let's say, what they're gonna wear, where they're gonna go, what they're gonna tell to their family, that who gonna stay, who gonna watch their kids while they're in the gym, and so on. As much clarity to your plan. That will help you to to fulfill this goal. If you know exactly what you're gonna do, watch your progress. Every small step, every small success improves your motivation. It lifts up the motivation when you see that I'm moving forward, I'm fulfilling the goals. The next one is to stay in the present moment. That also helps to boost your self-discipline. When we are all the time in our thoughts. We are driving a car and we are not actually on the road. We are somewhere solving the working problems. But if we stay in the present moment, that helps us to be more aware, what are we doing now, how we react, what do we feel, and also to improve our self-discipline. Don't blame yourself to be lazy. We all the time do this mistake, and after a day off, we think that, oh, I should better work, I should have to go to work more than stay at home, and so on. But sometimes laziness is not that bad. Remember to have a rest. Rest is one of the key points for time management, for concentration, and for self-discipline as well. And split the goal for small tasks, that's also helpful. Coming back to the slide, how to boost EQ. Also set the goals correctly and know your values. I would like you to set the goals after this meetup, come back home and think of your goals before this new year. What you're gonna do. Starting from today, it's only 99 days until New Year comes. It's not too many, and it's not too much. So I recommend you to think of what you would like to achieve in these 99 days. Let it be like 99 days challenge. And about your values. As I said, before going to the interview, you have to know what are your values. What is really important for you in the career. Because not only the company chooses you, but you choose the company. Work on time management. We're gonna go to that. I prepared this slide for you. Use body language. Who knows about body language? Okay, body language help you to be more self-confident. Help you to win in negotiations and to be a better team player. That's all what your employer wants from you. I will show you several positions that will help you to become more confident. Let's say if you stay like this, usually in the movies, when you see like a meeting or something like at work, they're deciding something, the leader will stay like this. He never hide the hands. If you hide the hands on the interview, if you are sitting like this in the closed position, or if you are hiding your hands in the pockets, that means that you are not confident enough. And this is non-verbal signs to your employer. If, for example, you're gonna sit just at the edge of the chair, that also says that you are not enough confident. But if you sit on a full chair, look how politicians act when they meet each other. That's body language in action. How they shake their hands, how they sit on the chair, how their hands look like. So they're never gonna hide it. They will put it on the table or sit with hands like this. That's all help you to become more confident. If you sit like this, touching your neck, or all the time touching your necklace, that means that you are nervous and not self-confident enough. That's also not good for the interview. And so on. If you're not aware with this, please take care of it before you go to the interview. Work on time management, because every employer wants you to be on time. Find like-minded circle of people. Actually, we are here like-minded circle of people. Someone who thinks with you in the same direction, who want to achieve the goals, or who want to achieve better career, and so on. And know your weaknesses and X factor. I asked a lady today about her weaknesses, but I didn't ask about X factor. X factor, that's the strongest trait of character in you. Who knows his X factor? For example, in my career, in my life, the X factor is to give out the information to the students the way they understand it. So I'm able to give the information and to create improvements in people's life. That's proven from a lot of programs that we already did. What is your X factor? Who knows? Who can name it? What's the strongest trait of the character? Maybe that's the ability to listen. Maybe that's the ability to have like analytical thinking and to know all the sides of the situation. Who can name it? Let's say you in the second row, that handsome guy. What is your X factor?
Handsomeness.
I'm a good listener.
What's that?
I'm a good listener.
Good listener. Now that's really an important skill. Who else? What's your X factor? Let's say that lady in the third row. Yes.
Helping other people.
Helping other people. Good. You are a good team player. You are a good candidate. Who else? That lady in red dress.
I think I'm brave.
You're brave?
But I own my own company, so yeah.
Okay, anyway, it's your X factor. Knowing your X factor is important in your career. Okay, let's go forward. Values and goals. That's already said about it, that employers want to hire individuals who fit the company. That's why you need to know the values. Not only the values of the company, but yours as well. For example, it can be career opportunities, challenging tasks, recognition, working in a team or independently, working schedule. At home, I would like to ask you to write down 10 important things that really matter to you in your future job. About time management. As I said, that's also important because everyone wants you to be in time. Some advices that will help to improve this skill. Not more than 9 tasks per day. Who creates a task plan each day, every day, regularly? Who do that? Okay, I do that every day. That really helps. Why not more than 9 tasks per day? This is if your working day is about 8 hours. 1 complicated, 2-3 hours task, 3 medium tasks for 1 hour each, 5 simple, 20 minutes or 30 minutes. That's optimal quantity of the task for regular person, maybe not for the leader, but for the worker, for the guy who works in team. The next, set the intention for the day in the morning. That's so important. To think of one thing that you're gonna do today, for sure, no matter what is happening, I'm gonna do that. To set the intention, let's say, it can be, I'm gonna finish this report today, no matter what is happening. Or, I'm gonna go to the gym today, no matter how I feel myself in the evening, and so on. No multitasking. Multitasking, that's about women. They all the time think that they can create, let's say, they can work in Excel, they can do something in the kitchen, they can watch the kid, and they can talk with their mom on the phone and do that and in one time. But actually, multitasking, it's the thief. It's something that not good for your time management. You start to do everything slower, and at the end, you end up with that you're late for the deadline, so on. Remember about the focus. Focus is the key rule for the time management. If you are all the time jumping from one task to another, you won't be able to be on time. And know your productive time. Productive time, that's when your brain works on the maximum capacity. Let's say my productive time is from 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. How to find out for the next 3 days after this meetup? Just pay attention at which time of the day you are more productive. Usually, people from tech, they are more productive during the night because no one disturbs them. The work is over, and they are now by themselves and ready to work like in a flow. But it's not right. It's not good to work during the nighttime. It's not healthy. So I recommend you to find out the other productive time when you really can work in a flow and do maximum. And try to substitute. The last rule is try to substitute. I have to do this to I want to do it. That's really helpful. And the last what I wanted to tell you about 99 Days Goal Challenge. I already told you about it. Starting from today, it's 99 days to the new year. Maybe in this list, I suggest you to create this list of the goals that you're going to fulfill during these 99 days. Maybe in this list will be to get the job of the dream, to prepare to upgrade my emotional quotient, to pass the tests that we talked with you during this presentation, or something. Also in this goal challenge should be at least 2 emotional goals that will inspire you. Maybe that's trip somewhere, or maybe it's just a regular talk with one of your relatives. Something that will inspire you. Don't forget to work on your soft skills. I hope that after this presentation, the idea that your employer is looking not only on your hard skills, but he's looking also at your soft skills. And nowadays, he's looking more and more how you are self-motivated, self-aware. Are you a good communicator or not? Are you a team player or not? That's important to understand and important to start training as soon as possible. Thank you.